Good evening, everyone, and a big welcome back to our School Leadership Development Program. It's a wonderful to have you again here. So basically, this program is designed to help school leaders like you strengthen your leadership skill, build high-performing teams, and align with NEP 2020 priorities. So basically, our goal is to equip you with practical tools that can create real impact in your schools, whether it's shaping vision or improving team collaboration or enhancing student outcomes. So, I'm Zoha Zabi, and I will be your facilitator for today's session on creating and managing high performing school team. So, today's module 2 is on creating and managing high performing school team. We will start by exploring what makes a high performing school team, look at some real life case studies, dive into core team traits, and then explore strategies and tools to build and sustain strong teams. So, towards the end, we will also look at how to monitor team performance and give feedback effectively. And of course, we will close with a quick reflection and next steps. So by the end of today's session, you will able to understand what makes a school team high performing and explore practical ways to build strong team in your context and learn how to sustain that performance through supportive monitoring. And before we move ahead, let's quick revisit what we have covered last week. So we spoke about the importance of having a clear vision and mission, student-centric and future-focused. We also work on setting smart goals and action plans to move your school forward. And hopefully you also had a chance to work on that small assignment to begin aligning your school with your vision. So let's start with the quick warm-up activity. So let's do a quick icebreaker. So if you could build your dream school team, what are the top three qualities or values you would look for in your team member? So participants, I have shared a multimeter link in a chat box. Give me a second. So hope you receive that multimeter link. So please click the link. It will take you to screen with three text box and type one quality or values in each box and hit submit. This link, while you click on this link, this look like this. If you could build your dream school team, what are the top three qualities or values you would look for in your team members? So you have to type one word in each of these space and submit, hit the submit button. Yes. Loyalties, commitment and collaborative. Yes, these response reflect most of the traits of high performing school team, which is exactly where we headed next. Okay, so let's now look at what defined a high performing school team and why it's matter so much for both teachers and students. So to understand this better, let's look at real life example from a school where team is struggling to function well. So this is a case study from Greenfield Academy. Will help us identify what can hold our team back and why those team trade matters. So I request one volunteer to please unmute and read out the case study for us. Anyone can. One volunteer. You have to read out this case study for all of us. No one
Uh,
wants to. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Greenfield Academy teachers work in isolation with no collaboration. The math teacher introduced a new technique, but others did not know about it. Next, once again, meetings are irregular and dominated by one voice. There is a blame culture. If the results drop individually or called out, lacks clarity on common goals, and teachers avoid difficult conversations. Students should show uneven progress, and teachers' morale is low.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Now let's take a moment to think what
Welcome.
issues do you think are holding this team back? Can you name any two? You can use chat box or you can unmute yourself and speak. What issues do you think they are holding this team back? I'll give 30 more seconds to think. You can unmute yourself and speak. Okay. So basically, this Greenfield Academy school, if you see the case study, so teachers, we can see that teams struggle with isolation. They are working individually, irregular meeting dominated by one voice, or a blame culture, no shared goals, and a lack of open conversation. And all these contribute to low morale and uneven student progress. So this is the one case study where team uh, where team struggled. Now let's look at a different school scenario, one with a more collaborative approach. This is a second case study, and again I request a volunteer to read out this case study for us. Anyone can, Amit sir, Jaya ma'am, Usha, Rani ma'am, anyone can read this case study. Okay, then I read for you. At Sunrise Public School, the grade level team meets every Monday morning. Teachers openly share what's working and what's not. The principal encourage experimentation and recognize team efforts in school meeting. When students struggle with reading comprehension, the team collectively design a new intervention plan. So within 6 weeks, progress was visible, and teachers trust each other and enjoy solving problem together. So now think about this, how this case different from last one. Last one, work in isolation, or there is no meeting, and meeting only dominated by one voice, right? And in this team, in this scenario, situation is different. Can you name any two team behavior or practices that stand out? Anyone can contribute. There is no right and wrong answer. Okay.
Teachers talk openly in the second scenario.
Yes, right, ma'am. So teachers openly share their views and their practices with others. Anyone else want to contribute?
Inclusiveness in decision making.
Included in decision making. Yes, it's a important part while we are working. So yes, regular team meeting with open sharing and a culture of trust and experimentation and shared responsibility for student outcome. So and leadership that encourage innovation. And ma'am also contribute that there's open sharing in the team, and also they are involved in decision making. So it's or it's create ownership for them. So we just look at Sunrise Public School, a great example of what happens when a school team works collaboratively and share responsibilities and trust each other. Now let's connect this, why high performing school team really matters, not just for the adults but most importantly for our students. So when team functions well, both academically and emotionally, the overall school climate improves. Staff feel more engaged and are more likely to stay, and teaching become more consistent and across classrooms. And not only does decision making improve, but efficiency goes up and burnout goes down. Especially great teams build a great schools. And as we saw in the last case study, it's not about perfection, it's all about openness, alignment, and the shared effort. So this is the definition, and why a high performing team matters. So these are the benefits of high performing team, having high performing team in our school. So now right now we know why high performing teams matters for students, staff, and overall school environment. But what actually make a high performing team, right? So what are the qualities of behavior that set them apart, right? So let's look at some of the core traits that strong school teams consistently dominate. This is where things become more practical and actionable. So as you see here, collaboration, role clarity, trust, communication, delegation, and conflict resolution are these are the traits. Uh, these are the traits are the essential building blocks that help team function smoothly and grow together. And in next few slides, we will break down these down one by one with examples and how they show up in school settings and why they matters. So let's take a close look at the first three core traits: trust, clarity, and collaboration. These are the truly foundation of a strong team. First is trust. When we talked about trust, so trust means team members feel safe to speak up. Once person feels safe, then they open up to speak up, take risk, or support each other. Without trust, people stay silent even when things are not working. Trust allow for growth, creativity, and ownership. And when we talk about what is clarity, so clarity is about knowing who does what and why. When everyone understands their roles, expectations, and goals, there is less confusion and more direction. And collaboration basically is what brings it all together. It's about moving from my student to our student, so this working towards share goals using each person's strength and ideas. Now let's explore three more traits that keep team functioning well over time. So delegation, communication, and conflict resolution. So delegation is not just about assigning tasks, but it's about building ownership. When roles are given based on people's strength and interest, it boosts motivation and clarity. And communication act as a glue. When it's regular or respectful and clear, it keep everyone aligned and valued. Think about staff meetings or WhatsApp group or even informal check-ins. All these shapes your team communication culture. And finally, conflict resolution. Every team will face disagreements, but strong team don't avoid them. They address them constructively. Open conversations can actually strengthen trust if handled well. So far we have explored the traits of high performing school teams. Can you name it? Anyone can? These six traits of high performing teams?
Delegation,
Yes.
good communication,
Mhm.
making them responsible for their work.
Right. The conflict resolution, when we go back, trust, clarity, collaboration, delegation, communication, and conflict resolution. So let's now move on from what to how. This is what, and now we have to see how we can implement these. So in this next section, we will look at simple practical strategies and tools you can use as school leaders to actively and support these traits within your team. So we will begin with a popular tool called RACI matrix. So what is RACI matrix? So RACI matrix stand for responsible, accountable, consulted, and informed. Okay. So it's help define who is involved in the task and in what ways. So R means responsible, who actually does the task. This is the first segment. Next, accountable, who ensured that the task get done properly. Consulted, who give inputs or feedback, what is right, what is wrong, what goes good, like that inputs. And informed, who needs to be updated on progress, where we reach till now, like this kind of progress, we have to inform that person. So that is informed. This framework help prevent and why does it help? Because this framework help prevent overlaps or confusion, especially during complex school activities like annual days, PTMs, or curriculum rollouts. And it's also a great way to reduce micromanagement. Everyone knows their roles and can take ownership confidently. So, can anyone tell me what is the meaning of R? R stand for?
responsibility,
Yes, responsibility. A stand for
accountability,
accountability. C stand for
consultation,
consulted. I stand for
informed everything to others.
thank you, Usha ma'am. So it's a great. We have done RAC matrix. Let's look how the RAC matrix work in practice through a couple of school-based examples. So in the first row, organizing annual day function is the task. And when we see about the responsible person, who are the responsible person for organizing annual day event, so the event coordinator is responsible in this case. Okay. And who oversees the overall quality and decision making, like who is accountable, that principal. And who give inputs and suggestion, who is consulted in this case, teachers. And who need to updates are and are not part of planning or decision making, who are in informed segment, that is parents. So there is also a key dependency here, like confirming the venue by September 1, and afterwards we will assign these tasks, like response, who is responsible, accountable, consulted, and informed. So let's move on to the next example, that is updating school safety protocol. So here, the admin head is responsible, the vice principal is accountable, the security team is consulted, and all staff are informed, so they are clear on the updated protocol. And the keynote is aligned with new state guidelines. And you can use, so this is the format, you can use this format for any initiatives which you implement in your school. It can be big event or a small, to bring more clarity and shared ownership across your school team. So now let's try applying RAC metrics to a real scenario. This is one from the new crescent school, where the school leader is planning to roll out a remedial reading program for grade 1 to 3. In the past, similar initiatives struggled because rules were not clear, leading to confusion, missed deadlines, and low ownership. Your task now is to assign RAC role for each step involving in this rollout, aligning the program, organizing training, or distributing material, or collecting feedback. So I will give you 1 minute to think about who might be responsible, accountable, consulted, and informed for each task. Feel free to drop your suggestion in the chat box. You can use your notebook and pencil. So think about the task aligning the program with curriculum. Who's the responsible, accountable, consulted, and informed? You can also type your answer in chat box, or you can unmute yourself and speak. I'll give you more 30 seconds to complete this task. Afterwards, we will start row by row.
For the responsible, we have to just mention what is the responsibility. That's it, right?
Who are the responsible for that task? Like in previous task, see, organizing annual day event, responsible event coordinator is the responsible person. Like this, we
Ac-
have to assign the person who
Okay.
is
Academic coordinator, academic aligning the program with curriculum may be responsible, maybe the responsibility of academic coordinator.
right. Correct answer.
Accountable to the principal, consulted with all teachers,
Right.
informed to the students and parents, right?
Informed parents or teaching staff
Okay,
also.
sir.
Mainly teaching staff. Thank you, ma'am. Now let's move on to second row, organizing training. Then who take charge and be responsible for organizing teacher training?
Training in charge.
Yes,
Training
rightly
in
said.
charge.
Who is
Uh,
accountable?
Accountable is teachers.
Okay.
So if it is a teacher's training,
But accountable school leader who own
school
the success of this
principal,
training. Hmm.
principal.
Principal or a school leader who organize this,
Mm.
who could be consulted,
Teachers,
teachers, or maybe external trainer or
trainer
facilitator also, huh?
also. Yeah.
A senior teacher or a coordinator or a external trainer or
If the
facilitator.
training is for the teachers, external trainer. If the
Yes.
teaching is training for the kids, is teacher.
And who needs to be informed about the schedule and logistic?
To the parents.
And to the teachers, because
Teachers.
training is for teachers. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your response. This kind of role clarity can make a huge difference, especially when rolling out new initiatives where multiple people are involved. Even if your school does not formally use RAC metrics, this mindset of clarity who does what is great habit to build with your team. So now let's move on to our second simple or powerful strategy for handling disagreement within teams. This is listen, reflect, and response. It's a three-step method. Help team navigate conflict in a calm, respectful, and constructive way. So first, listen actively without interrupting. First thing. Then reflect on what others said to show you understand their point of view. Then finally respond, not react, with your own perspective in a calm, solution focused manner. So your final thing, focus on the solution, not only you have to respond that thing. No, you have to provide solution also. It's a great tool to build trust, reduce emotional tension, and keep communication respectful even during tough conversation. So let's see how this strategy works in a real school conversation. So here a simple example of how you as a school leader might use the listen, reflect, and response approach during a conflict. In this case, see, this is the, if you see that table on the first column, listen, reflect, and respond, and then example and notes and responses. So in this table, teacher A says, I feel frustrated because I never get access to a science lab when I need it. So as we know, there is one science lab and there are multiple teachers and using that. So in this scenario, teacher A says, I feel frustrated because I never get access to the science lab when I need it. That's your clue to listen without interrupting and acknowledge the frustration and the pattern. Okay, this is the first step. Second, now reflect by saying something like, it sounds like you are feeling left out of the planning process and it's affecting your lessons. So this shows you have really heard and understood their concern, right? If you respond in this way, that person feel like, yes, he or she heard and understood, the other person understood their concern, then you respond constructively, like offering a solution like, let's create a shared calendar for lab use so we can plan fairly. Would that work for you? This simple shift can turn tension into a teamwork. Anyone has any thought on this? Want to share something? Have you experienced something in your school or your teachers experience something like that?
Yes, sometimes.
Because as we are a part of affordable private schools, right? So we have limited resources. So this kind of situation may come up. So let's see this case study. At Green Valley School, there is a conflict between Mr. Kumar, a senior teacher, and Miss Varsha, a new teacher. Mr. Kumar usually leads lesson planning, but Miss Varsha, after recent training, wants to take the lead on a key unit. Mr. Kumar disagrees, citing the seniority system. Miss Varsha feel dismissed. The result, tension arise, collaboration drops, and even student engagement is affected. Now put yourself in the role of the school leader and use listen, reflect, and response approach to address the issue. Take a minute to reflect and jot down your answer to these prompts. Like, listen, what would you listen for in both perspectives? Second, how would you acknowledge and validate their concern? Third, response. What action would you take to resolve the conflict? I'll give you 1 minute to think about, 20 more seconds to reflect. Would anyone like to share what they might say to either Mr. Kumar or Miss Varsha? There is no right and wrong answer. So you can share openly here. Okay, then I move on to the solution. So if we talk about, yes, both are right from their perspective. Varsha leads, plan, maybe grooming by Mr. Kumar, and may be asked to encourage Miss Varsha. Right, rightly said, ma'am. So basically, the first thing is listen to them, right? So we have to listen what Mr. Kumar said and what Miss Varsha want to say, right? So Mr. Kumar, the main concern of Mr. Kumar is to maintain standard and respect for experience, because he's a experienced person and existing team norms, like, and the from the perspective of Varsha ma'am, so her desire is to apply what she learned in the training, and so her needs to feel trusted and included, right? So this is the listening part, what's both perspective was. Then we reflect as a school leader, we reflect like yeah, if we talk about Mr. Kumar, yeah, it sound like you are value consistency and have worked hard to lead department with experience and structure. And when we reflect on Varsha ma'am, though it seem you are eager to contribute new ideas and feel a bit discouraged by the current process. So this shows that you both validate both concern, right? One is protecting what works and other want chance to grow. So both are right from their perspective. And as a school leader, what do you propose a shared solution? Like, how about co-planning this unit, right? Mr. Kumar can provide structure and guidance while Miss Varsha bring her new insight. So this way we honor both experience and innovation. So these are the, so it also suggest it settings known for future collaboration that allows space for newer voice to lead in supporting ways. So far till this activity we have explored how to build high performing school team and resolve challenges when they arise, but even great teams need support to stay strong over time. So that's bring us to the next part of our session, how we can sustain high team performance. One key strategy is ongoing supportive monitoring of teaching practice. So let's take a look at how school leaders can do this way do can do this in a way that promote growth, not judgment. So monitoring teacher performance. So now let's talk about how school leader can sustain high performing team, especially through supportive monitoring of teacher performance. So monitoring does not means judging or micromanage teacher. It's all about helping them to grow, improve student outcomes, and maintain consistent standard across classroom. So this cycle here shows four key components. Number first, lesson plan and student work review, checking for alignment with learning goal. This is the first thing in a cycle. Then classroom observation, seeing how plans translate into practice. Next, progress tracking, look at each student outcomes to assess impact. Then constructive feedback, supporting teachers with strengths and next steps. So this is the cycle of four components. This process build a culture of continuous improvement, not fear. Your role as a school leader is to coach, support, and create space for reflective practices. And now, to support teachers' growth, we can use simple observation tools that help us gather insight into planning and classroom practices. These tools are not meant for inspection, they are for reflection and development. So we should use them ideally once a month or quarterly, just enough to support growth without overwhelm the system. And here are the some simple implementations, like train observer, whether they are school leaders or a peer, so they use the tool respectfully and constructively. Next, focus on coaching, not judging. We are here to uplift, not to pointers, right? Point fingers on them. Next, start small, just one or two focus area at a time, so it's manageable and meaningful. And when done right, this kind of monitoring create a culture of trust and improvement across the school. Now let's we have seen both observational tool and the rubric. Let's connect these two using the sample filled by the school leader. Hope you are able to see this template. I will zoom in out. So can you see in this template, observe, you can write observer name, that school leader or a school principal or a school coordinator or a senior teacher who can observe other teachers class. will be the observer for this, and there is a rating scale, right? One needs improvement, two developing, three proficient, and exemplary, fourth number. Okay, we have to rate 1, 2, 3, 4 in numbers, and this is a tracking. So in a same sheet you can track multiple teachers or multiple class, like teacher observe, like Anita ma'am here, you can observe other teacher in the same tracker. Next, class observe, like if same teacher teach different class like English and maths for pre-primary classes, then you can also mention here English class 5, right? And date and time and topic, like picture description and vocabulary building. And this tracker divided into 5 segments, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 segments. Like first, you are observing on lesson planning and preparation. Under these, objectives and alignment, resource use. Next, classroom instruction, student engagement, clarity and pacing, and questioning skills. Next aspect is assessment and feedback, so checking for understanding and feedback to student. Classroom environment and management, behavior management and student relationship, professional responsibility, punctuality and reliability, team collaboration, and reflective practice. And you have to give them score like 1, 2, 3, 4, and you have to average it out. And feedback, lessons are clear and engaging. To strengthen her impact, she can begin using more high order questions and explore digital teaching aids. Excellent job fostering student participation. So can you see? And there is also a rubric where help you how to give marks, because it should be consistent and logical while you giving marks. Like if you see classroom instruction in student engagement, in that case you give 3. 3 means most student actively engage. So what is the meaning of 3? So there is the rubric which help you to observe the teachers. Let's come back to the PPT. So once you have observed a lesson, the next step is to giving feedback, and how you can do it makes all the difference. So here are the 6 simple but powerful guidelines for giving constructive feedback that support teachers growth rather than judgment. So start with positives, like highlight what works well. For example, I like how you use student names to keep them engaged. This build trust. Then be specific, not general. Use clear observable behavior, saying you ask 3 open-ended question is more helpful than good job. So this is the specifically you point out what is good. Next, link feedback to student impact. Explain why it matters. For example, your clear instruction helps student transition smoothly into group work. So you have to give why thing. Link feedback. You have to link feedback to the student impact. Then ask reflective questions or turn it into a dialogue, like how do you feel student responded to your feedback today, right? Feedback today. So these kind of reflective question you can ask. Then focus on 1 or 2 actionable steps. Give manageable next steps. Next time, try using a student checklist for peer review. Next, document and follow up. Feedback should not part of a growth process, not a one-time conversation. Say, let's revisit this in 2 weeks or reflect on how the next strategies work. So following these steps would a safe, supportive, and growth-focused culture in your school. So let's put our feedback skill into a practice with a real classroom scenario. So this is activity 5, case study. In this history lesson, in the case study, in this history lesson, students were asked to write an article in groups. The class was calm, but participation was low. But only 1 or 2 students per group were actively involved, and learning objectives was not clearly stated. Now, based on what you have learned about constructive feedback, let's answer 2 questions. So first question is, which of the following is a specific and constructive observation to include in your feedback? You have to select, this is an NCQ, you have to select one option. One option is the right answer. So which of the following is a specific and constructive observation to include in your feedback? Number first, your class was boring and unproductive. A. B. Students were passive because your instruction were not effective. C. Many students appear passive during group work with only a few active participation. D. The students are not interested in group work. So let's answer this. Which one was the right? Which one is the right option? You can unmute yourself and speak. Okay. Here, the observer has to give feedback to the history teacher. So right answer would be answer C. Many students appear passive during group work with only a few active participating. So this is focus, observable, and avoid blame. It's a helpful start to feedback. Now let's move on to second question. How might you phrase a supportive suggestion as a part of your feedback? Which one was the correct answer? You should just lecture next time instead of doing group work. Try assessing specific roles within each group to encourage equal participation. Avoid group activity altogether. Since students don't engage, use the worksheet as homework instead. What do you think? Which one is the correct one? Correct answer?
Option B, ma'am.
B.
D or B?
B for ball.
B.
B for ball.
B.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. This is the correct answer, and this give a clear next step without judging the teacher's method. It's focus on improving student engagement. So when we observe and give feedback like this, we help teachers grow with clarity and confidence. For your assignment, apply RAC matrix to the given task and respond to a conflict scenario using the listen, reflect, respond technique. You will find both activity in a worksheet, and you have to complete it before the next session. Give me a second. I will show you these assignment. So this first assignment is RACI matrix, and these are the two scenarios. To increase student outcome by 20% for ninth grade, you have to write who is the responsible, accountable, consulted, informed, and note. Next thing is spoken English excellence program for fifth grade. So this assignment for RACI matrix. And second assignment is LRR assignment. So listen, reflect, and respond. Guideline question: what is the other person saying? What emotions or concerns? So you have, this is a case study kind of thing situation. During a parent open house, Mr. Sharma, a parent of a grade 6 student, approached the school leader and says, "My son told me he was pulled out of class and scolded in front of everyone for talking once. He feel humiliated and doesn't want to come at school. I don't think the teacher handled it well. This isn't the kind of environment I expected." These kind of situation you encounter day-to-day basis in your school. So you have to complete this assignment and submit it before the next session. So before we close, let's quickly recap everything we covered in today's session. We began by understanding the key traits of high performing school team like trust, role, clarity, and collaboration. Through case study, we identify real challenge school team face and discuss how to respond effectively. We explore tools like the RAC matrix for delegation and the listen, reflect, respond strategies and handling conflict. You also got to see and discuss practical teachers development tools like observational rubric and walkthrough templates. And finally, we practice given constructive feedback in such a way that is clear, supportive, and growth approach. So each of these tools and strategies is something you can begin applying right away in your school settings. And before we wrap up here, what's coming up in next in our leadership journey? So our next session is titled "Navigating NEP 2020: What's Private Schools Must Act On," happening on 26th July 2025 at 4 p.m. So it's going to be hands-on and relevant. So don't miss it. Next, if you have any question right now, then you can raise your hand, or you can unmute yourself and speak, or you can put your questions in the WhatsApp group also. We can discuss there. You can reach out to us in, this is the contact number and email ID. Thank you once again, everyone. Bye bye.